Christy, welcome back to my channel and welcome to card 5 in my 2017 Valentine card series and also to the Kajcyika Crafts video hop. Today I'll be using the Lawn Fawn Octopi My Heart and Mermaid for You stamp sets as well as the Just Be You paper pad by Echo Park. And I'm going to begin with some Copic coloring. So I'm starting out with my little octopus here, and I'm using, well, I thought I was using the R24. I wanted to start darkest to lightest, but I actually had grabbed the R22, but that's okay, no matter. I'm just laying in a light coat of that. And then I will pick up my R24, which is my darkest shade, and I'll just go right over top of that. And that's going to just make my dark shadows. So I'm doing that mostly in the places where his tentacles are curved and also alongside his head where I want him to look more rounded. And then I will go back to my R22 and just catch the edge of that R24 and draw that out. But still leaving some white space so that I have a room for a highlight, just to create some more dimension. Next I'm taking my R20, which is my lightest shade, and I'm just going to go over the white places that I left and just kind of blend the edge of that R22 so that I get a nice smooth transition of color. And after I finished filling him in, I decided that the colors weren't quite as intense as I would like them. So I just decided to go back over everything, darkest to lightest again, and just kind of add some of that color that got faded out. So my friend Kaya of Kajcyika Crafts is launching her YouTube channel today, and there's a couple of us who are participating in the video hop. There's 7 of us in total actually. And she's going to be doing some giveaways with some great prizes. She's got 4 prizes up for grabs. So I will have a link to her channel in the description bar below the video. And you're definitely going to want to check her out because she's a beautiful colorist and a beautiful card maker. And I just think you're really going to enjoy it. So my little seahorse I'm coloring in with G00, G00 and G03, and again just starting darkest to lightest, I'm adding that G03 where I want my shadows to be, so under his neck right there and where his tail curves around, and then just a little bit on the back of his head, and then just blending out with the G00 and finishing with the G quadruple zero. And then I will also color in this little seashell with the same 3 shades. And the piece of coral I stamped with the Lawn Fawn Wild Rose ink. I'm using Y26 to just color in the fins on the back of my seahorse. And then I will grab my R24 one more time now that the octopus has dried. And I'm just going to add a little dot detail on his tentacles. So I'm just going over all the highlighted parts so that they really stand out. And then I'll just die cut these images out with the matching dies. So I've got a couple pieces here die cut for my focal panel. I used the Lawn Fawn Fancy Scalloped Circles, the Lawn Fawn Stitched Circles, and the Lawn Fawn Hillside Border dies to create the little sand piece. And I'm going to begin by adhering my blue piece to the Fancy Scallop Circle with a little Tombow Mono multi-glue. And then I can glue my sand piece down as well. I'm just going to do that at a little bit of an angle just for something fun. And then I can add my little piece of coral, just adding a light little bit of glue there to stick that down. And I'll adhere that over on the right side of my focal panel. And I love using this glue to put focal panels together because you can adjust things a little bit. So I'm just using the sharp end of my pick-me-up tool to poke out the little die cuts between his tentacles. And now I can glue my little octopus down on the left side of the card. And I'm going to put him at a little bit of an angle as well so that I have room to put my little seahorse in the center. But before I do that, I'm going to add my little seashell to the ocean floor just for a little accent. And then I'm going to grab my Lawn Fawn Merman ink and grab this little bubble cluster that comes in the stamp set. And I'm going to stamp that a couple times on the background, so right near the octopus and just kind of here and there, a little bit over the coral, because that's where the seahorse will be. There's also a heart included in that stamp set, which I will stamp as a little heart-shaped bubble to go with our Valentine theme. And then I can just take my little seahorse and glue him into place. For my card base, I'm using a piece of MFT's Pink Lemonade cardstock, which is folded and scored to a standard landscape style card. So it is 5.5 wide by 4.25 tall. And then I'm going to take this heart pattern paper and glue that flat to the card. I'm going to take this little border strip that I die cut with the Lawn Fawn stitched scalped border dies. This is the smallest in that set. And I'll add a little tombow to the edge and adhere that to my plaid strip of pattern paper. And then I'm going to take a second piece and just glue that down to the other side so that I have the little border on both sides of that strip. And then I can just flip over that panel and trim off the excess with my cutter bee scissors. I will add a little more glue to the back of this panel, and then I'll go ahead and adhere that down on my card. I'm going to put that a little lower than center. I'm just using the hearts on that pattern to make sure it's straight. And now I can just take my focal panel and add some Scotch 3M foam tape to the back of that. And I will just cut down a small piece to fit that gap because I like the focal panels to be really well supported. And then I can just peel off the backer sheets and set that aside for a second while I adhere my sentiment, which I stamped with the Lawn Fawn Blue Jay and the Lawn Fawn Guava ink. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Tombow Mono to the back of that, and I want to make sure that I get that perfectly placed so that it doesn't hang too far over my card so it still fits into an envelope, but that I still have enough room for my focal panel without covering up that sentiment. So once I have that where I want it, I can just press that into place. And then I'm just going to do a little stamping on the inside. I'm using the Lawn Fawn Guava ink to stamp out my sentiment, which reads Happy Valentine's Day, and that is from the Lawn Fawn My Silly Valentine set. I'm also going to take the octopus, the bubble cluster, and the heart and stamp that on the right side. And that's going to complete our card for today. If you're new to my channel, this card, as well as all the other cards in my Valentine series, are going to the Cards from the Heart card drive, which benefits St. Jude's Children's Hospital and more. And I'll have a link in the description bar if you'd like to check that out. I'll also have a link to Christina from Crafty Paws, as she is the next person on the video hop. Here's a couple extra videos in case you're interested in checking out more from my channel, and you can always click on my photo to subscribe. Have a great day. Bye-bye.